If you're not sure how to run a weekly sales meeting, here's a quick agenda. I like to start with something that is intentional when it comes to getting some engagement or getting some energy. And it depends on what kind of tone I want to send, right? If we are crushing the numbers and we're doing really well, and my biggest concern is, God, I don't want everybody to think like we're too far ahead and start slowing down, then what I may do is like grab a video on YouTube and search for something like they're racing like in the Olympics and one person kind of slows down and somebody blows past them or something like that. Like I'm going to find something that's themed around what I want. Okay. If the team isn't performing, like if we're way behind on numbers, I may come in and inject a very different kind of energy. If you've got core values, you can get something started around an activity or a game or something around, like don't make it super cheesy, but get some engagement and be intentional about the type of vibe and the type of energy that you're going to want to inject into the team. And whether that's going to be a, hey, we've got to go get it, whether it's going to be a little bit of a cheerleader, whether it's going to be, basically a call to action, like, hey, this is like an oh shit moment. We got to get back on pace. So I'm going to start with something like that that's engaging. Then I'm going to look at the sales dashboard. Okay. I'm going to look at, all right, how are we doing on performance? Who's kicking ass? Who's not? Like if you're kicking ass, what's working for you? What's not working for you? If you're behind, like what are your blockers? What are the obstacles? What are the challenges that you're facing right now in hitting your goal? I'm also going to probably look at something around activity. Like when I look at sales, I see like there's activity that's inputs into the system and then there's results. That's the output. You can talk about the output all you want, but if you don't talk about the inputs, then it makes it very difficult to actually affect the output. So I may work backwards and say, okay, if it's calls that you've got to go on, or whatever the other activity metrics are, like if there are doors you're supposed to hit, calls you're supposed to make, emails you're supposed to send, like what are those things? Because those things are fully within your control. And then you can end the meeting with commitments, right? And you can actually look at the activity levels because again, those are fully controllable. Like I can't always control the conversion rate on a sale, but I can always control how much I'm going to put into the system, how much work I'm going to do, how much activity I'm going to get started. So you really just want something that is going to set the tone the way that you want to set the tone, that you're going to go through and look at the numbers, look through where you are on performance. What are the results that you have so far? Are we hitting the key activity metrics? And are there some commitments that we can make walking out of here so that next week when we show up, we can look at that and say, okay, are we doing those things? And then are those things getting us that output? So that's a sales meeting that you've got to run every single week. Even if you've got one salesperson, you go through this activity. If you have one salesperson, you can probably do it in 30 minutes. If you have 3, 4, 5 salespeople, it's going to take you probably an hour, but you want to make sure to hit this every single week.